Now, sports from the Four Seasons Sports Desk.
All right, more Bears stuff, and Chris Bowden is here with that.
Another guy in the mix in that quarterback room. Bears adding some experience in that area, signing Case Keenum to a one-year deal.
Now, sports from the Four Seasons Sports Desk.
All right, more Bears stuff, and Chris.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast.
And I'm CJ, the other half of the CNG podcast.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's G Walker, the CNG podcast. And I got my crew with me, man. I got that boy CJ, and I got my guy Alan with me. Fellas, how y'all doing today?
Chilling.
Yeah, man. It's been a little bit of news, a little bit of quarterback movement, man, up in the NFC North with Case Keenum and all that stuff signed for a one-year deal, man. So whenever you guys get a chance to turn your mic on, how y'all feel?
Yeah, I like the move, man. Veteran presence in that room, a lot of wisdom, and things like that. So I feel like that's the way to go, man. That was a good use of $3 million. I'm pretty sure it's incentivized too, so it ain't probably a cap killer.
CJ, how you feel about the move, man?
I think it's a great move. You know, get a backup quarterback with some experience. Get a backup quarterback that can stretch the field a little bit. You know, I think with Tyson BADgent, he really didn't show too much of stretching the field. A lot of his passes were kind of short passes, kind of him rolling out and throwing it.
Yeah, a lot of the fan base, you know, they wanted Tyson BADgent, man. You know, he looked like the core, 6'3", 200-some pounds. You know, Tyson BADgent looked like he was something, man. But it didn't look like it, man. You know, when he got in the game, he did some good things. He kept the ball moving. He looked like a game manager, but he didn't look like somebody that I was like, he can take over for Caleb Williams. You know what I mean, Alan? He didn't look like that kid that I was like, you know what? He should have been number one drafted, first overall, you know? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he didn't look too hot to me either. Now, one thing I like BADgent, I like his competitive nature. Now, he does have a competitive spirit that I like. I wish a lot of kids had that more, but BADgent, as far as like stretching the field, he's only limited so many things, but he's got a good computer as far as, you know, scanning the field. Like, he gets the ball out quick, but it's just sometimes his arm strength is going to impede him, especially in the wintertime.
Right, because you got to have an arm to be able to throw up and on that lake, right? All right, but let's keep it moving, man. We're gonna give everybody some background information on Oh no, the new quarterback, not Keenan Allen, but Case Keenum. He's been around for a while. He's bounced around to a lot of teams. So the Chicago Bears are bringing the quarterback in that has more than 11 years of experience. He'll bring that to the quarterback room. Keenan's NFL journey has become an odyssey. Chicago becomes Keenan's 9th team. We've been in 12th professional season. Much like in his recent stops, everything like that, he's arrived with he's a capable veteran quarterback with plenty of wisdom to share with the starting young quarterback. The Bears have already learned the importance of having a proven backup on the roster in recent years. Just 2 seasons ago, they were forced to play Tyson BADgent in 5 games. He posted a 2-2 record as a starter. So he's not the backup that I think that we need. So CJ, when you see this right here, he comes with 11 years of experience. He's been bounced around. He knows the game. He's been around 10 plus years. So this is a good combination of someone that played the game, that someone can mentor Caleb Williams. You think?
Correct. With a backup quarterback like Keenum that has over 10 years of experience, that's a plus. To have a backup quarterback behind your rookie or your first year quarterback.
Yeah.
So it's always a plus to have a guy like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's always a plus to have a guy like that. So I think this is a key signing for the Bears, because can you really go into the season, looking at Tyson BADgent as your backup, just in case Caleb gets hurt? I don't know if I want to risk Tyson BADgent being my backup, with Caleb being hurt.
Yeah, I don't. We want the best. We want the best possible for Caleb Williams. You know what I mean, Alan? Like, we don't need nobody that's a Division II quarterback from Shepherd University. We want a real NFL backup quarterback that could come in here and pretty much be a teacher and be a mentor to Caleb Williams. Because what is he going to learn from Tyson BADgent? That his dad was a good arm wrestler? What are we learning here?
You read my you read my mind, boy. But yeah, bouncing off what you were saying, G. He's not gonna learn, but so much from Tyson. And you know what? Tyson is so competitive. I think he's looking at it like, one day I'm gonna get a job. So Case Keenum understands the plan. Case Keenum's gonna be a company man. He's gonna come in there and he's gonna focus on the development of Caleb. Whereas, BADgent, is he gonna tell Caleb, hey, look, man, that single high right there, man, look, make sure that you watch where the safety is on that play, man, because he's trying to get back on the play, so we need to probably work the middle of the field. He ain't gonna tell Caleb that shit, because he's gonna probably be like, you know what, I want this job, so I need to keep that under my hat. So, he's still competitive enough where Case Keenum's gonna go out there and tell him, look, man, you need to look at all this stuff. It's more of an adult in the room. So I kind of, I'm kind of interested to see how he functions with a little bit of competition and understanding his role as a backup, and helping Caleb develop. Because I don't think Caleb had nobody go to the sideline last year to sit down and talk to up under when the first coordinator was there. He didn't have nobody to go talk to. So now he can go to talk to a player, and more so than talking to a coach sometimes. Sometimes coaches irritate you sometimes. When you're talking to your fellow colleague and your one of your teammates, they might not be so cumbersome sometimes in their criticism. A lot of times more so they're going to be helping you. So that's what I think the room really needs with Case Keenum.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said, man. You just want somebody around that's done it before, because you got, JT Barrett's going to be there. You got his quarterback coach going to be there. So it's cool to have that last little piece of that veteran leadership from a quarterback standpoint that he can go to mid-game, sit down with mid-game, get the iPad mid-game. Because, experience, you can't really teach experience. You have to earn it. You got to get it. You got to play. You got to be around. You got to live to get experience. So Case Keenum is definitely somebody that's been around long enough to be like, you know what, getting Case Keenum was a great addition for a young quarterback that needs to learn how to play in structure, that needs to learn how to play in rhythm, and that needs to learn how to play on time. So Case Keenum, he's a backup. He's very capable. He's very knowledgeable, and he's been around. You know what I mean, see?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is just some more stuff about Case Keenum here. It says Williams will also benefit from the assistance of a player like Keenum, who has seen plenty of NFL career. He can help the second-year passer adjust to Ben Johnson's new offense. Case Keenum is 37 years old. He's played for the Houston Texans. He had 2 stints with the Texans. He played for St. Louis. He played for the St. Louis Rams. He played for the Los Angeles Rams. He played for Minnesota, he played for the Denver Broncos, he played for Washington, and he played for the Cleveland Browns. So if anybody don't know who Case Keenum is, we're giving you to you right now to get you a little bit familiar with the guy that they brought in to mentor Caleb Williams. He's going back to the NFC North. This is his first time since 2017 with the Vikings that he'll be back. So CJ, he knows the division. So how much value do you think that a quarterback coming here like Case Keenum can show Caleb about just playing in the division because he's done it before?
I think, like I said, the experience with him being, in the NFL 10+ years. Of course, he had, he had a stint with Minnesota. Him having that experience playing against Minnesota, playing against Green Bay, playing against, the teams in the division, that's going to be key. He can definitely tell Caleb, what to expect defensively, from those teams.
Yeah, and I agree. It says Case Keenum spent 2 of his last seasons with T.J. Stroud. Apparently, he played in 2 games. He went 34 for 53 with 291 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions before going out and after an appearance in 2024. For his career, he's played in 80 games with 66 starts, thrown for 15,000 yards, 79 touchdowns, 51 interceptions. You know what I mean? So, CJ, those are not like necessarily eye-popping numbers. Those are pretty much quarterback backup QB numbers, but they are numbers to where you could say they're respectable. He's thrown more yards than Caleb at this point. He's thrown more touchdowns than Caleb at this point. You know what I mean? He's played for more teams than he has more games than Caleb Williams at this point. So they brought in somebody that Caleb Williams will have to look at and be like, this guy's played in the NFL and he's done meaningful things,
Right.
Alan, let's see, we got you back up in here, big dog. You good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, man. I'm on the way, man. Everybody playing music, so I'm on the way home, man. My bad.
No, you good, bro. It's cool, man. I just wanted to get in here and get some work done real quick. Talk to the fan base, talk to Bears Nation, talk to y'all about a couple of, talk about Case Keenum, because you see right here, Alan, I just brought it up, but you weren't here. I don't know if you heard it, but he's been around. He played 80 games, 66 starts, threw for 15,000 yards, 79 touchdowns, 51 interceptions. I was just saying that he's done a lot more than Caleb Williams has done. So Caleb has to look at him as a guy that's done it for a long period of time. You know what I mean? When he's looking at somebody like a Case Keenum, because, hey, I've done it longer than you, and I proved I can do it to a certain extent, right? This isn't potential from Case Keenum. This is actual years of playing the game. You know what I mean? Despite that he's a backup or not,
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to respect those. He's got what they say, skin on the wall. So you got to respect what he's got going on and his opinion about formations and different things like that. He just brings another a mental part of the game to Caleb that he wouldn't probably get outside of the coaching staff. So I like the Case Keenum addition. And then if something happens to Caleb, you got a guy that can hold you down for 2 or 3 games,
Yeah. Yeah, you got a guy that's played. He can get you a couple of wins. We've seen it. Actually, he's thrown more touchdowns than he's thrown interceptions. You know what I mean? 15,000 yards. So that means that he got somebody that Ben Johnson can really go to. Something have to happen to Caleb. He can be like, hey, we need you, OG. We need you to get in there, throw us a couple of touchdowns, get us a couple of passes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if depending on this kid right here is going to do it. We've seen what he done in 4 games, but it's not enough. It's not enough on the stat sheet experience to prove that he can, to me, jump over Case Keenum. Like, I'm not bringing Case Keenum in. I'm bringing Case Keenum in here to be the mentor. I'm bringing Case Keenum in here to be the guy to keep Caleb on track. But I'm also looking at somebody like Case Keenum. If I need you to go in the game for me, I need you to go give me a W. You know what I mean, CJ?
Yep. And with Case Keenum, you can depend on him you know, to make plays out there. I don't, you know, it's more of a confidence builder that you have for him because of the experience that he has, and you know, he's been around for long enough. You can't really say that about Tyson BADgent. So I'm a little bit more confident in Case Keenum more than I am Tyson BADgent.
So, Alan, you pretty much feel the same way. You're pretty much more confident than Case Keenum than you will be for Tyson BADgent.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Tyson BADgent, I think he's 2-2 when he starts. And I think Case Keenum I think he's got a winning record when he starts. Tyson BADgent is the one, he's not going to take a lot of chances. You know, he's going to kind of just survive the game, but Case Keenum is a guy that he can expand the field. So you can do a little bit more in your playbook with Case Keenum because he's got enough arm strength that he can stretch the field. I think USC said that earlier. So that's what I would go with. And like I said, just a strengthening the quarterback room, and also, in case of an emergency, you always going to have somebody. So if the second string quarterback get hurt, you got somebody who can go in and be a comparable pro.
Yeah, we got a comment from Chad right here. What's going on, Chad? Chad says, I like BADgent. It'd be a bad move to let him go. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's, you know, some people like Tyson BADgent, some people don't. I don't think it'd necessarily be a bad thing to let him go because it just doesn't seem like he's going to be anything more than what he is as far as a backup quarterback. So let's keep it moving. We got more stuff we're actually going to talk about the pros and cons of your boy right here. For people that's wondering why, you know, some people don't like him and, you know, why he might not get past his who he is the reasons for it. And it's arguments for him being bad. So let me go off camera real quick. It says arguments for being bad, limited starting experience. BADgent's NFL experience is limited, primarily consisting of starts when Justin Fields was injured, and his performance in those starts has been inconsistent. Some argue that BADgent struggles under pressure and that his decision-making and accuracy is unreliable, especially in crucial situations. Then it says he's not a starting quarterback. Many believe that BADgent's ceiling is that of a solid backup, that he lacks the necessary skills and potential to be a franchise quarterback. So, Alan, I'm going to ask you this. So when it says lacking the essential skills to be a franchise quarterback, what do those mean to you? Like, what pops out in your head that he needs to have that he doesn't?
Measurables. Like you said, his measurables are probably not compliment, but I mean, they said Drew Brees didn't have the measurables either, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. But I think the difference between Drew Brees and this young man was the competition he played in college. Drew Brees played at Purdue, where, you know, they were just, you know, awesome. He came from a pro style with Joe Tiller, and this young man right here, he's got an uphill battle because of the competition. And then also, he doesn't have the foot speed. Now, he's decent foot speed. He's got moxie. But the thing about it, man, you got to be able to stretch the field. I know we've jumped on that to the point of nauseum, but you got to be able to stretch the field in the NFL. You got to be able to throw over 35 yards at a time. And he's not one of those guys that can make a team get out of a cover 2 or make them go to a cover 3. He's kind of limited in what he can do in his play package. So that's probably why that came up as a franchise negative. Everybody can't be a franchise quarterback. So he just falls up under that. But I mean, that's not saying he can't be a good pro, but just not a good franchise quarterback.
Man, well said, because we got Craig in here. Craig says, what's up, yo, what's up, my guys? What's going on, Craig, man? We're just doing a little bit of work. It's not going to be a long show, man. We're just giving people, just in case they missed who the Bears got Case Keenum, and, you know, we're making an argument why he won't, that Tyson BADgent won't be the backup quarterback, stuff like that. He says, facts, Allen. You know the OG always going to come with the facts, bro. Then we got Craig again right here saying, he's saying, and Ben Johnson, you need to be able to chuck the ball in tight windows. Yeah, I don't think CJ, I don't think he has the arm to do that because I can't remember. Alan, who was the backup quarterback that we had to sub in for him because he couldn't throw a deep ball that one game? Who was that? Was that Mike Lennon? Oh no, it wasn't Mike Lennon. Who was that?
No, that was what was the dude's name? Cause he was at midfield and he couldn't make that throw. And I can't remember. It was the last veteran we had in the locker room. Oh man, I can't remember, G. It was like 2 years ago when Justin was there.
Craig, who was that quarterback that they had to sub in for? Who was the quarterback, Craig, that had to sub in because Tyson BADgent, he couldn't throw that long pass? Who the hell was that quarterback that we had? And his arm strength was ass because they had to bring in somebody else to make a deep throw, man. So, he's not the guy. And then we got more information about him. Arguments about him having potential. Let me go up camera real quick with this one. It says solid backup. That's considered a good backup, and he has shown flashes of potential in his limited playing time. He's athletic. BADgent is known for his athleticism, mobility, which probably be an asset. He holds an NCAA record for touchdown passes. But that's pretty much it, man. But when it comes to being a franchise quarterback, I didn't see it. I didn't see the ability to playoff script. I didn't see the ability to playoff platform. I didn't see the ability to consistently throw the deep ball to mid ball. He didn't have it in his bag. When everything is perfect for him, he looked like he was that guy that could do something. But in order to make something out of nothing, I don't think he's that quarterback. I think that's his ceiling. I don't think he's the guy that when you need to, especially being the Ben Johnson offense, a guy that likes to throw the ball and likes to scheme a certain way. I don't think he's the guy. What do you think, CJ?
I agree. I'm not saying that Tyson BADgent can't be a pro nowhere else. It's just not for this team. When you look at this team and the way it's been built, especially this offseason, with a defense that's going to pretty much put an offensive team on their heels, you're going to need a quarterback to come down and stretch the field. You're going to need a quarterback to come down and make smart decisions. Decisions. So I think that's where Case Keenum fits with the Bears, and I don't think Tyson BADgent fits that mold.
Yeah, and we found out who the quarterback was, Alan. It was Nathan Peterman. Thank you, Craig. Nathan Peterman had to come in the game and throw a Hail Mary pass because Tyson BADgent could not do it, bro. I remember that game. I was like, why are they bringing in Nathan Peterman? It was a Hail Mary, and even the fucking pass was trash, even though he got it there. That let me know that Tyson BADgent will not upset Justin Fields. And Justin Fields was a run-read quarterback. All Justin Fields did was run, but Justin Fields had an arm, bro. He can throw at 60, 65 yards.
Yeah, he can throw it.
Throw at 60, 65 yards, 70 yards. This dude had to be subbed out the game to throw a deep ball. I was completely off the Tyson BADgent hype train. What you got to say, Alan?
Yeah, I agree, man. I was like, yeah, he's a quality backup, and he'll be in the league a long time as a backup. I mean, but we can't take you out at midfield, bro. You got to be able to sling that to the end zone. So, that's the basics for a starting quarterback in the NFL. You got to be able to put your back foot on that 50 and throw it out the end zone. That's simple math. So if he can't do that, it's all right being a backup for 10, 12 years. I would take that. So there's nothing wrong with that. But he, like C say, he can go play somewhere else. It's no big deal. I hope Case get the job because I feel better with Case Keenum as our backup quarterback than I do Tyson BADgent.
Yeah, and I agree, man. I love the points, man. It is what it is, man. I'm not a fan of Tyson BADgent like that, man. He looked like the type of quarterback. Looks can be deceiving. You know what I mean? Like not to take it to the Bulls, but Patrick Williams is 6'8", 220 pounds, but the dude don't have a motor. You check up under the engine, it's a 4-cylinder engine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the pieces don't match. The shit don't match. So it looks like Tyson BADgent, it don't match. And the crazy part about it, how it don't match, how the hell you don't inherit the arm of an arm wrestling father? You don't inherit the arm that your dad has, that he was a fucking arm wrestling champ.
Yeah. Well, you know what, y'all? I don't know That's a good way to looking at it too, Craig, with the arm strength. So do you think it's the arm strength or maybe the technique, the way he's holding the football? Does he got the fingers on the laces, or is he pushing the ball? Because some quarterbacks in the NFL push the football instead of throwing it. Maybe it might be a technique that a quarterback coach can go in there and fix. Because Tom Brady didn't have a big arm coming out of Michigan, but his arm got stronger as he got older. And I think it was a technique and the grip of the football. And, maybe that whole scandal might have helped too. But it was still some things that they were doing with the football that helped him guide the football another 10, 15 yards, which is what he really needs. 50 to 55 yards is where we need you as a starting quarterback. That way you can throw the ball in flight at least 60 yards, at least. So I would love to see if that's something that Ben can reach to and try to figure out. Is it a technique thing, the way he's holding the ball?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. And you know what? And that might be something to look at as the season progresses in training camp. Does Ben see something in him that he can pull out to make him an even better backup quarterback? Because that's his center no matter what. He's not going to really just jump over a franchise quarterback like a Caleb Williams or a Jaden Daniels or somebody like a Cam Ward or hell, even a Justin Fields. Like, he's nowhere near their talent of prospect or potential franchise quarterback, man. Then we got Craig was saying, I remember all the goofies on this show after the game saying BADgent should be QB1 over Fields. That was dark times for the Chicago Bear Nation, because you had people that couldn't stand Justin Fields and he was not playing very well, and then you had people that was just wanting them to get him out of there, see something different. But we can't be greedy. We can't let our eyes get bigger than our stomach, as my mother told me once before. Like, that just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? People can flash you with potential. They can flash you with a good drive here and there. They can flash, but then once you put them in a situation where they got to consistently, the key word is consistently, do this every Sunday, that's when the good separates the bad and the great separate from the good. You know what I mean, Alan?
Yeah, I agree. And your mom sound like my mom with that. Yeah, you can't do that, man. You see what's in front of you, eat that first. And then we'll see about the next. But that's how you eat with your eyes, as they say. But yeah, I can't go forward with that young. But Craig, I was one of those guys that was like, BADgent should get more time. I was one of those guys because I was just over the Justin Fields experience. I was over it. So because he just wasn't doing the things that was necessary as a starting quarterback. So I was looking for anybody to take that round of quarterback. But after we get a quarterback, and I understand and see what a quarterback looks like, it takes time, and he fell into that category. But
yeah, go ahead. So CJ, when you saw people claiming for asking for Tyson BADgent to start over Caleb, when Caleb went down, he had that couple of good games, man. What was your thoughts? Like, he could take it over, or you just like, I needed more to see, or was just like, man, it's just a flash in the pan? See, how did you feel?
It's just a flash in the pan. It's I already knew when Tyson BADgent cannot throw that Hail Mary pass. I was like, nah, my confidence with him went out the window. That's when I knew. I was like, nah, I can't. Your quarterback should be able to give your team confidence, the coach confidence, and even the fans confidence. If you got a quarterback that can't do that, then what the hell is he on the team for?
For sure. Facts. We got Craig saying CJ the GOAT, man. You know how to go with C, man. C getting his bag. We got Craig saying he respected Allen. Then he said something about Patrick Williams. Well, Alan, I can't let y'all get up out of here, man, before we get into this, Alan. This is what absolutely made you despise and wanted to get that boy up out of here, man, was this right here. When Tyson BADgent dad leaked that rumor to Sylvie about wanting Caleb Williams to start for Tyson BADgent start over Caleb Williams, man. That was a completely crazy rumor, right?
Yeah, it was. That broke my heart there, G. When we talked about it last year, Sylvie took the blame for it, but Sylvie had lost a lot of credibility after that too. Sylvie been in the business a long time and know that he's got to identify his source when somebody wants to know the source, because that did not come out the locker room. That was coming from a dad, and Sylvie knew that he could not say that was Tyson BADgent's dad at the time. He knew that would be a killing moment for the locker room. So instead, Sylvie took the knife, and I want to say Sylvie got suspended a couple games. Not a game, but a couple of days in the office, because it seemed like he was gone a couple of days on ESPN. Because that's a major no-no when you got credentials and you have locker room. That's a privacy issue. You can't start nothing that ain't there. So when Tyson's dad being a dad is your source, you cannot use that as any validity as a locker room rumor. So that he put his career on the line a little bit for that. And I felt like at that moment, Tyson needed to be gone. Because if your dad is that much of a distraction, it's cool and all you arm wrestle, but you cannot destroy the fabric of the locker room. You can take your kid back to wherever y'all come from, Virginia, West Virginia, wherever you come from, take them back there and start rumors. But you can't do that in Chicago, not in Hallis Hall.
Yeah, man, that was a wild, man. That was some crazy stuff, because I was also reading that he tried to start it with Justin was here. He just got too much access. So, CJ, when you heard that this broke and that Sylvie pretty much broke it and using his dad as validity and started stuff, man, what did you think, man? That it was Hallis Hall as a whole, there was too many holes in the ship and the ship was sinking? Because I couldn't believe it. Like, where the hell did this come from? And then everybody was blaming it on DJ Moore. I remember that.
Yeah, man, it was a lot to take in. And that's when Tyson got to tell his dad, you gotta chill. All the talking and stuff, you gotta chill. We're talking with reporters and talking with news people, and because that could have been a huge distraction to the Bears.
Yeah, that was a crazy situation, man. We got some more comments from Craig. Craig says that was some wild stuff. Shane on that are a big dummy. Yeah, that was crazy, bro. Like, that was something that I would never thought I would see coming from the Bears team, man. But we were such a bad organization, man. So with that being said, guys, this is gonna probably be the end of the show right here, man. We didn't want to come in here and take too much of you guys' time on a Saturday. We just want to talk about Case Keenum. He's the new backup quarterback, signed for 1 year deal. Make the case to why Case Keenum is not going to be sitting on the bench just with a clipboard. I think he's going to be playing if something happened to Caleb. We want to come in here and talk about how Tyson BADgent is pretty much not the future of any Chicago Bears team as a backup, man. But it's going to be crazy to see what happens with Tyson BADgent as he goes forward. Is he going to be the number 2 quarterback or number 3? So, Alan, what are your final thoughts, man, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, my final thoughts is great job by the Bears administration to go get a veteran quarterback. I want to let them know that is what we needed, and we got some maturity in that room. And I think that's what you need to have around a nice ecosystem of veterans around our young talent. So Tyson BADgent can grow from that and grow from a veteran quarterback. It's competition. So championship teams breed competition. So I would like to say, man, I appreciate, the GM and everything. And I like the signing and I appreciate the time being with y'all today, man.
For sure. CJ, what's your final thoughts, man?
Man, my final thoughts is another good move by the Bears. I mean, the Bears have been proving this offseason that they're heading in the right direction. Getting a backup quarterback with some experience, a guy that you can depend on just in case Caleb gets hurt. It's a very good move by them. And the fact that they got him for 1 year, $3 million, that's pretty good too. You know, you don't have to
man,
break the bench as much.
Yeah, and I agree with everything with what Alan said, what you said. Alan said about the competition. You know what I'm saying? Championship teams breed competition. And I love what CJ said about we got him on a cheap deal. But my final thoughts is this, man. Just keep building the farm. You know what I mean? You came in with the veteran offensive lineman, whether it's Tooney, whether it's Dowman, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's Jonah Jackson. Okay, cool. You built the farm with some decent offensive linemen. Okay, now you build something with the defensive lineman. Now you're bringing in a real QB backup quarterback that could come along and help your number one quarterback stay afloat, teach some things that Tyson BADgent just can't show him. Tyson BADgent can't show him no more than what Caleb Williams doesn't already know. You know, these are two young pups, and them talking to each other is like two damn toddlers talking to each other about football. What they gonna teach each other? Nothing. So it's gonna be cool just to see Caleb develop under a guy that's pretty much been in the league for about 10, 11 years. Multiple touchdowns, you know what I mean? Multiple teams. So he knows a lot of defenses. He knows things defenses can throw at you. He knows a lot. So experience, it can't be bought. It can only be earned. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn it. So shout out to the Chicago Bears organization. Shout out to Ben Johnson. Shout out to Ryan Poles for bringing in a guy that's a steady Eddie type of backup quarterback. And that's it, man. I'm G Walker, one half of the CNG podcast. That's CJ, the other half. And that's my boy, OG Allen. And we will be back for our pre-draft EP April 23rd, 7 p.m. I got the NFC North coming. I got the Detroit Lions fans coming. I got Main Event Mike coming. I got my guy Owen coming from the Green Bay Packers fan base. I got who else I got? I got my Vikings fans coming. I got everybody coming from the NFC North, man. So all we're gonna do on the pre-draft AP is pretty much talk about what each team needs. So the Green Bay Packers fan to talk about what his team gonna need in the draft. Bears, BCJ, and Alan gonna talk about what we need. It's gonna be a good show, man. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. And with that being said, we gone. Peace.